My name is Sister Mary Catherine of the Sisters Adores of the Precious Blood from the Watertown Monastery. We are cloistered contemplative sisters who are called to a life wholly dedicated to prayer of adoration and reparation for the salvation of all souls. Prayer for priests, in, in particular those of our own Diocese of Ogdensburg, is of foremost importance in our daily devotions. I was born in South Vietnam. I am one of 9 children, 5 boys and 4 girls. I was a boat refugee who escaped the Vietnamese communists in 1980s. I lived in refugee camps in Thailand and Indonesia for a span of 13 months. When I was a teenager, I never thought of becoming a nun. I was 14 when I, with 2 my brothers and a sister, arrived in the United States. My goal was to graduate from college so that I could help my parents and other family members who were still in Vietnam. After graduating from high school, I attended California State University of Fullerton. I graduated with a degree in biochemistry with a goal of becoming a pharmacist. When my family arrived in the United States, I decided to postpone pharmacy school and look for a job to help my family. I was lucky enough to be offered a position by a company that manufactures laboratory instruments, and eventually I became a research scientist in the field of diagnostic and cancer markers. I was a senior quality scientist when I left that profession to follow God's call. My mom's death at the early age of 63 was a turning point for me. I began to re-examine my life and question the importance of life, prestige, honor, life itself. The field of science in which I had been working and in which I believed could not give me an answer. I turned back to God. I read the Gospel of Matthew over and over. No one can serve 2 masters, for he will love one and hate the other, constantly came to my mind. For 6 years, I traveled extensively in search for God. I made the pilgrimage to the Holy Land in Israel and rode a camel up to Mount Sinai in Egypt. But I could not find God there. He was not there because I was not ready to let go of my pain and past. Finally, I accepted my younger sister's invitation to return to Vietnam on a charity mission. We stayed with the Vietnamese nuns and went with them to give food and aid to the poor and the orphans, and visited the lepers. When I was set out for the mission, I thought I would change the people there, but it was they who changed me. The thought of returning to the church and becoming a religious crossed my mind. I went on a retreat with an elderly nun. While at this retreat, I met Father John and was finally able to pour out my heart to him. Far from scolding, he consoled me as Jesus had Mary Magdalene. It had been 20 years since I had last received communion. I began attending daily Mass, joining prayer groups, going retreats, and volunteering. But I still felt empty. The idea of becoming a sister occurred to me more frequently now. but I could not answer my own questions. Why do I want to become a religious? Am I too old for religious life? And what will happen to my family? What if I don't persevere? What will happen to my career? A year slipped by, following 70 days of the spiritual exercise. I made an 8-day silent retreat, now to believe in my call to religious life. I flew to Vancouver, Canada, to speak with a priest. He suggested that I visit the Sisters Adores of the Precious Blood in Canada. I began to have cold feet. What is this Precious Blood Institute? I did not want to go to Canada. I searched the internet and found the monastery in Watertown, New York. Too far from California, I thought. In January 2012, I flew to Watertown on a 2-week come-and-see visit. As the airplane was approaching Watertown Airport, all I could see on the ground below was snow and frozen lakes. I wanted to cry. What have I done? I'm coming to no man's land. I looked around. There were only 8 other passengers on the small airplane. Many months later, I told Bishop Terry Lavalle this story. He said, didn't you know the North Country has more cows than people? I received the habit of my community in 2013 on the 50th anniversary of the Watertown Foundation. I made my first vows in 2015. I am now a temporary professed sister. I'm here in Watertown because I truly believe this is God's will for me. God loves me, and He loves those to whom He sends me. Please pray for me and all consecrated religious, especially for vocations throughout our country. Thank you.